Its $2 million healthcare facility providing essential healthcare services to San Salvador residents.
It is an investment into the health and well-being of this community and a commitment to ensuring accessible healthcare reaches every part of our country. That's our commitment. Because access to healthcare matters. Where you live to never determine the quality of care you receive. For too long, families on our family islands have had to navigate distance and limited service when time was of the essence. Today, we take another step toward changing that reality and closing that gap.
Now, this new healthcare facility includes laboratory and pharmaceutical services. Minister of Health and Wellness, Dr. the Honorable Michael Douglas, says the opening of this facility is part of a bigger national push.
What you see behind me is a commitment from our Prime Minister that is clearly articulated in our blueprint for change that we will move swiftly to bring the United States Clinic in full operation, fulfill the heads of agreement by Club Med, and to ensure that we attract direct foreign investment, particularly touristic investment, here to the island of San Salvador.
The opening of this new San Salvador clinic, a critical investment with real impact. Here in San Salvador, Desmond Saunders, The Bahamas Tonight.
Thank you, Desmond. The government has officially signed a contract for the construction of a new airport terminal on Rum Cay, marking a major step forward in strengthening infrastructure across the Family Islands. Tourism officials say the project forms part of the ongoing Family Island Renaissance initiative aimed at boosting economic activity and attracting both domestic and international visitors. The new terminal, valued at over $900,000, will span approximately 25,000 square feet. Construction is expected to be completed within 9 months. Plans for the facility include modern check-in and check-out counters, airport offices, verandas, and upgraded security checkpoints for police. Now, officials say the design will also reflect the indigenous character of the island. The contract signing took place this morning at the Rum Cay Airport with both the Prime Minister and Deputy Prime Minister in attendance. Value-added tax is coming off your grocery bill next week, but the big question remains, are stores actually ready for the switch? A Department of Inland Revenue official gave our Leah Cooper this update.
The countdown is on. In just a few days, value-added tax disappears from hundreds of unprepared food items. And yes, that means your grocery bill should finally breathe a little easier. But before April 1st rolls in, the Department of Inland Revenue is making one thing crystal clear. Nobody gets to say, I didn't get the memo. They're going full court press, hosting a financial symposium meeting with vendors and basically leaving no stone unturned. Training and Communications Manager Beaumont Todd says they've already been in talks with vendors, walking them through exactly what changes are coming and how to handle them.
Well, I know we've had a number of meetings with some of the vendors and stuff, speaking about the changes that are going on. We were just waiting for a finalization in terms of how that was going to be affected. What we're having here today with the symposium, one of the means that the persons who have questions and queries, they can come to get assistance and roll out with that. But we will probably most likely have 1 or 2 more basically meetings virtually to assist and speak on that matter as well, to update the public with those changes as we also get instructions.
Now, while the government is promising to work hand in hand with retailers to make this rollout smooth, not everyone is totally relaxed. Economic Affairs Minister, the Honorable Michael Halkitis, says some grocers are concerned, especially when it comes to the accounting side of things. Switching systems isn't exactly a flip the switch situation, so could there be a delay?
That would be something that we wouldn't be able to authorize until Parliament actually gives us directives with that. But we do try to work along with the consumers and our clients to the best of our ability to make sure that we are able to assist them in giving them the information that they need so that they can actually be prepared in this matter.
Still, officials insist that this isn't their first rodeo. Todd compares the rollout to past zero-rated initiatives like those back-to-school VAT breaks, saying they've done this before and know the drill. And if anyone's still confused, Todd says they're one phone call away.
They can always reach out to us, whether directly or to come in, so that we can assist them in that regard.
For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Leah Cooper.
Over to the upper chamber now. The Slate Night senators began debate there this morning on 3 resolutions. A call for the transfer of land from the Treasury to the Ministry of Housing. The land includes 30 acres in Bozine Town, approximately 30 acres in the Pitt Road area here in the capital, and some 60 acres in Georgetown, Exuma. The transfers will facilitate the government's housing program and the settling of land title deeds. Moving the resolution was Senate Government Business Leader, the Honorable Michael Halkitis.
Almost universally, and indeed in the Bahamas, Madam President, the cost of living is a concern amongst Bahamians, and the cost of housing is a significant component of that cost of living. Building costs, the cost of building materials have gone up. Cost of rent is another vexing matter for Bahamians, and exacerbated by the reduction in supply, where you have some people putting what would have been traditional rental properties onto Airbnb, and so the supply of apartments, for example, has gone down.
Now to the lower chamber, where House members there wrapped up debate on those 2 resolutions last night that allow the government to borrow some $280 million to complete its acquisition of the Grand Bahama Power Company. Energy Minister, the Honorable JoBeth Colby Davis, last evening argued that the case for government action is clear, charging that Grand Bahama must be a priority and not an afterthought, and its residents deserve reliable energy supply like the rest of the country.
When you compare where Grand Bahama is today with what BPL has already built across the rest of the Bahamas, on resiliency, Grand Bahama has added solar, but integrating renewables requires major upgrades to your power lines, substations, and your control systems. BPL has already done that work, delivering a 45% reduction in outage frequency and 30% less downtime. We will be bringing that proven infrastructure to Grand Bahama.
The Energy Minister insisting that the Grand Bahama Power Company's transformation will also result in lower energy costs for residents.
Now, Grand Bahama consumers in the most vulnerable bracket pay a base rate of 17.56 cents per kilowatt hour. That's before fuel. Under our rate, the Energy Rate Adjustment Program, those consumers in the most vulnerable bracket pay 0 on the base rate.
Also here in the news, this late night, 5 decades of dialogue, cooperation, and policy shaping are being marked this week as the National Tripartite Council and the International Labor Organization convene their 2-day annual General Assembly right here in the Bahamas, reflecting on the progress made in protecting and strengthening the nation's workforce, held under the theme 50 years of shared commitment, advancing decent work and social justice for all. The 2-day forum brings together representatives from government, employers, and labor groups, reinforcing the collaborative framework that has guided labor relations in the Bahamas for half a century. Officials say the council continues to serve as a critical initiative where key stakeholders meet to address workplace challenges, shape labor policy, minimum wages, and ensure the voices of workers remain part of national development conversations. And over the years, that partnership has generated several significant milestones aimed at improving workplace protections and expanding opportunities for Bahamians.
Over the last 50 years, I think that we have come a long way in this country. There is still a lot to do, but progress has been made. I'm having a decent work country program, the social justice program, the apprenticeship program that's now being put in place. Yes, we are making strides, but of course, like in everything else, there is always room for growth.
I would say that we are on an ongoing basis, that we are fulfilling the work. We would have started off in 2021 when I took office with a decent work country program, which again is a guideline to, I would say, all things labor, all things national development. And so definitely, yes, we are fulfilling that mandate.
In a moment, we'll have the rest of the day's news. You're watching the Bahamas Tonight at 11. Stay up with us.
Step into a life of luxury and convenience with the Commonwealth Bank Platinum Card. From earning premium cashback rewards on every dollar spent, to enjoying comprehensive travel insurance. Shop with confidence, knowing your purchases are protected. Our Platinum Concierge service turns your requests into reality, wherever life takes you. Let the Commonwealth Bank Platinum Card be your passport to exceptional experiences. Commonwealth Bank, leader in personal banking services.
Wait, what are you grabbing all these pizzas, boy?
Wait, Marcos, wait. We have a special on all the large one-topping pizzas, wait.
Pineapple.
All.
Barbecue.
All. Hey, VAT included, but
I need the $10 special plate.
How many of them would you like?
20 in it. Thank you so much, man. $10, that's it? The Marcos got that deal, boy.
And as we continue here this Thursday, their voices are often the ones that go unheard. But the Member of Parliament for Exuma is giving young people a platform, encouraging the island's youth to speak openly and candidly on issues that matter to them. Cleopatra Murphy reports from the forum which took place in Georgetown, Exuma last night.
Young people on the island of Exuma got their chance to voice their concerns and hear directly from the island's Member of Parliament through a youth forum dubbed A Chat with Chester Wednesday evening. Deputy Prime Minister, Minister of Tourism, Investments and Aviation, the Honourable Chester Cooper, fielded questions in the open forum, where top among the concerns of the youth that will make up a part of the electorate in the upcoming general election were the expansion of public transportation on the island, opportunities for young people and the healthcare system, an area the island's MP admits enough progress has not been made.
I've donated an ambulance in an effort to help, but the process is taking time. It's high on my calendar of initiatives to handle during the next term in office, God's willing. And we will continue to bring support from the government to this issue.
Cooper took questions from persons in the audience as well as online and highlighted various initiatives the Davis administration has undertaken that will benefit the island's residents, inclusive of the youth demographic. He says Exuma's economy is booming, employment on the island is high, and 22% of residents are self-employed by choice. With the island facing a housing shortage and some concern over the high cost of rent, the minister says government is also addressing that, having tabled a resolution in the House of Assembly this week to transfer 68.4 acres of land to the Ministry of Housing to construct affordable homes on Exuma.
People now, instead of paying rent, will be able to build their own home. If you're paying $1,200 for a one-bedroom apartment here in Exuma, you can pay your mortgage for a 2- or 3-bedroom house with that same money.
Cooper says that too often leaders talk to young people but don't listen, and he wanted to let them know their voices count and appraise them of the access to various grants and programs government offers, from BTVI to Upskill Bahamas.
I've had a great opportunity coming from Exuma as a young boy from Forbes Hill, an obscure little community, growing up with very little, and I've had a good life in business, opportunity to serve in government at the highest levels, and therefore I want to inspire them today to be more involved, more engaged, and to participate in our country.
For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Cleopatra Murphy.
Thank you, Cleo. Well, March 18th was Global Recycling Day, and to celebrate, the New Providence Ecology Park launched its e-leaf certification program. It helps companies reduce their electronic waste. Now that refers to discarded computers, batteries, appliances, and other devices. The new e-leaf program also encourages businesses to take greater responsibility in the handling and disposal of electronic waste and other hazardous materials. Minister of Environment and Natural Resources, the Honourable Zane Lightbourne, underscored the importance of corporate participation in protecting the country's environment.
Environmental stewardship in the 21st century cannot be the responsibility of government alone, nor can it rely solely on the goodwill of individuals. The scale and complexity of modern environmental challenges demand structured partnerships with the private sector. They require clear standards, measurable outcomes, and systems that recognize and reward responsible corporate behavior. The e-leaf certification program provides precisely that framework.
And Late Night Sports is right ahead. Here's Amajal with a preview of what's ahead.
BAISS soccer action underway. Details of that story and more coming up in sports. Welcome to your Thursday Sports Check, everyone. I'm Amajal Knowles, topping sports. The BAISS soccer playoffs underway at the Roscoe Davies soccer pitch. Eugene Stewart was roaming the sidelines and let us know who advanced in this report.
Day 2 of the BAISS playoff series continuing yesterday at the Roscoe Davies playing field. 2 games for the junior boys as the first place Lyford Key International School Dragons took on the Giants of St. John's College. Lyford would get out to an early 4-0 start to begin the half, but in the end, this one a no-brainer for the Dragons as they would advance to the championships for the junior boys by a final score of 12-0.
It was a great game. Hats off to St. John's for coming out to play us. They kept their heads up the whole game. I thought our team played really well. We had a game plan. They executed it from the start of the game, went up early, and just kept it going throughout. Our substitutes were fantastic today as well as our starters, and there was no letdown after we made a lot of subs, and that's always great to see.
For the second junior boys matchup, the Comets of Queen's College faced off against Windsor School. QC would draw first blood in the 28th minute, while Windsor would fight back to tie things up, but the Comets remained defensive to end the first half. After regrouping, it would be Windsor tying things up at 1 apiece to take this game to overtime, but after a scoreless 5 minutes, it would all come down to the penalty kicks, where the Comets would soar their way to victory 5-3.
We took control in the first half, and we maybe stepped off the pedal a little bit. It's good to get the win. We made hard work of it, but we're looking forward to whoever we've got to face in the final now.
But all was not lost for Windsor School, as head coach Terry Delancey says the lads are a tiny but mighty group.
Yeah, it was a very difficult one. Majority of our team consists of 7th graders. So it was a very young team, a very physically inferior team than most of the teams we played against. So we tried to find some ways around it, and we got the unlucky end of the stick today. We played much better in the second half than we did in the first half, and we were able to make it a much more competitive game. And then it just came down to the wire. Very unfortunate circumstances. A lot of the younger kids, this is their first time playing in such an atmosphere, surroundings, with all these type of people. So a lot of them were very, very nervous at the beginning. But, after the first goal, they started to realize that they could play a little bit more, and then they started to show a little bit of what they could do as a team.
And in the final matchup of the evening, it would be Windsor School taking on the Lyford Key International School Dragons. But for the Dragons, this matchup a one-sided affair as they would advance to the Senior Girls Championship 7-0.
Very rarely do you get to play the same team twice in a week. So we've been having film sessions looking at our game from last week against Windsor, and we're able to say, here are the things that we did well, here are the things we need to do better. I think we went into that game last week mentally prepared, and the girls were even more hungry to do it again today. So I'm really proud of them. We had multiple different goal scorers. We just said in our team talk, this is a really versatile team, so that if one player is off the pitch or one player isn't executing, that we have so much depth from our bench. We had multiple players come off the bench and score goals. I'm really proud of them.
All BAISS championship matchup for the junior and senior divisions begin April 14th from the Roscoe Davies playing field. Reporting for ZNS Total Sports, I'm Eugene Stewart.
And the fish are biting over in Cat Island as their 8th annual fish off getting underway. Our Mateus Stewart has more in this report.
The 8th annual Cat Island Down Home Fish Off officially got underway tonight with an opening ceremony setting the tone for what organizers say will be an exciting few days ahead. The festival, which runs from March 25th to 28th, celebrates Cat Island's rich marine and fishing industry while bringing together local fishermen for friendly competition and community pride. Founder Nathaniel Gilbert says this year's event is especially meaningful as the festival continues to grow.
We look forward for great things to happen. We look forward for this event to be a bigger and better one. You know, we always look for better. I like to pass my legacy on, and I like it to be go on to the youths. I like the youths to grab it and run with it because it's such a good industry. It's one of the greatest industry in the world.
The fish off is not only about competition, though, but also sportsmanship and camaraderie among boaters and residents, while giving visitors a true taste of island life. Returning competitors are also gearing up, including a 2-time champion hoping to secure his 3rd win.
Pretty good to be last year winner and the previous year before that. And as long as we put God first, might be this year.
As the first major calendar event for Cat Island, organizers say the festival is expected to give a strong boost to the local economy, generating revenue through seafood sales and support for small businesses. From the Cat Island Down Home Fishing Festival, I'm Mateus Stewart.
And in tennis news, the drama continuing in the local tennis community as the mounting tensions and discord between the Bahamas Lawn Tennis Association and tennis enthusiasts reaching new heights over the weekend. Now, an extraordinary general meeting was called, resulting in an apparent removal of officers, the appointment of an interim BLTA leadership, and the allowance of members to register. Members appointed at the meeting included Marvin Roll as president, Philip Major as vice president, Tara McTaggart as honorary secretary, Sheena Boleg as assistant secretary, Chandra Ferguson as treasurer, Bernadette Major as assistant treasurer, Kweku Simonet, Giles Turnquest, Alex Murbach, Patrick Fernander, Patty Seymour as counselors, Dennis Mortimer and Valerie Reese as directors. In a statement released by the group, they add that the EGM that took place was held in accordance with the BLTA Constitution. The resolutions passed represent the members' collective decision to advance the association under new leadership. They also recognize that recent events have caused concern and uncertainty within the tennis community and the public. They add that the transition is an opportunity to reset, rebuild, and strengthen the future of tennis in the Bahamas. Now, in a press statement, the Perry Newton-led BLTA faction on the opposite end of that spectrum maintained that the proceedings were not in alignment with the governing provisions of the association's constitution, advising that any resolutions purportedly passed at that gathering carry no constitutional force or effect, as the meeting was not properly called and the procedures followed were not in accordance with the governing provisions of the association's constitution, adding that there is an ongoing matter before the court. We'll continue to update you on this story as it progresses. And that's been a look at your sports on this Thursday. I'm Amajal Knowles, signing out until tomorrow.
What you saying? Girl, right here, rushing to catch J.S. Johnson. I gotta renew my insurance. Oh, I with JSJ too, but I don't wait in line. I just pay online. Stop it. How you do that? Just email info@jsjohnson.com and say, sign me up for the online service center. They'll reach out and hook you up. You ain't never have to stand in line again. Amen to that. Save time. Pay online. Sign up for J.S. Johnson's online service center today.
Insurance, peace of mind. The internet isn't just for surfing. There's a sea of shoppers buying online, and you can connect with them on Tingsy. Tingsy is the SBDC's online storefront built for Bahamians. Take your business to the next level by selling to customers online, both at home and around the world. People want Bahamian things, and if you got things to sell, sell on Tingsy. Find out how you can connect with a sea of buyers by visiting tingsybahamas.com.
And just before we leave you this late night, we want to check in with Diane Dorsett for a look and our late night weather forecast. Good evening, Diane.
Good evening, Corval. Our satellite picture continues to show showers over parts of the central and southeast Bahamas associated with a mid-level trough that is moving eastward across the area. Now, further south, a cluster of clouds in the western Caribbean linked to a mid-level low is expected to track eastward across the central and southeast Bahamas on Sunday, bringing scattered showers and isolated thunderstorms. Now, following that system, a building high pressure will generate very strong winds and rough seas into next week. Now, let's take a quick check on temperatures around the Family Islands. In the northwest Bahamas, it's 78 degrees in Freeport City and Green Turtle Key, 76 in Marshall, Babaco, and Alistown, Bimini, 77 in Bullocks Harbor, Fresh Creek, Central Andros, and Camp Space, South Andros, 79 degrees, 77 in Harbor Island, 78 in Rock Sound, Eleuthera, Black Point, Exuma, 79 degrees, Arthurstown, Kid Island, San Salvador, Rum Cay, 78, Georgetown, Exuma, 79, and for our southernmost islands, it's 80 degrees in Clarencetown, Crooked Island, Betsy Bay, Acklands, and Ragged Island, 79 in Matthew, Tananagua, and 79 degrees also in the Turks and the Caicos Islands. Tonight, you can expect breezy conditions this evening, but otherwise partly cloudy and cool with a low of 70 degrees. And as for tomorrow, breezy in the morning, but otherwise partly sunny and a high of 81. Now, it sure has been a gorgeous week with lots of sunshine, dry conditions, and the pleasantly warm temperatures. All good things must come to an end, and that will be the case by the end of this upcoming weekend when rain and strong winds return. Now, over the next 7 days, expect cool nighttime temperatures with lows in the low 70s. That's your late night look at weather. As always, rest easy, stay cozy, and thanks for staying up with us. Corval.
All right, Dan, we'll worry about Monday when it gets here, but it still looks like a good weekend ahead. That is our broadcast here this Thursday evening. I'm Corbell Pye for Amo, Diane, and our entire team. Take care, be well, and remember, we will all be looking to see you again right back here tomorrow evening. Good night.
At the House of Assembly, I'm Lakush Lapinder. This is ZNS.